Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. My name is Nicole, and today we are talking about the ex hurt you, but they didn't. The ex hurt you, but they didn't. Some individuals who have been wounded by their past need to direct pain in the right place. And that's with the one who hurt you, not with the entire race, ethnicity, group. Everybody didn't hurt you. It was that one person. Once again, we have those individuals who they are taking a broad brush and painting everyone as the enemy. Some of us, we can't even have quality relationships, connections with people because she was hurt by her black boyfriend. He went off and cheated. She's guarded. And so whether you're a black woman or a black man coming into her life, she still got issue with the ex, but she will become extra sensitive over matters that she shouldn't, and they all tie back to that black boyfriend who did her wrong. I'm coming where some people are. He is upset with every black woman that comes in his camp over the littlest of things because his black ex-fiance, wife, girlfriend did him wrong repeatedly. See how the connection is with some people? You may not be guilty. Oh no, not you. But there could be some others around you who I'm trying to have a friendship with this person. But it seems like they get a bit offended, irritated over matters that most people wouldn't. And then when I sit down and talk with them, they start telling me about this ex, the ex-mother-in-law who happened to be white. The, former husband who was Latino. And oh, how they were abused and used by him. But why do I have to be the victim in this thing? Why do I have to be their punching bag? Right? Why do I have to be the one that's the counselor, the psychologist? I mean, this is too much work. And you know what some of us do? We end up distancing ourselves, and eventually we don't even connect with these people because you're not going to keep having these little stereotypical smart comments that really are about what somebody else did to you, but I just happen to be there and somebody feels good every time they nitpicks about whatever you see. And it ties back to the fact that somebody got some unresolved issues. Let's just be real and honest. Somebody is dealing with that thing from way back when, and they have yet to connect the dots. That's why you are so angry at the black, the brown, the white. It goes back to the mother's boyfriend, or it goes back to your ex from back when you were in high school. Really? I mean, we've got these sorts of individuals who they lash out at us because I'm light-skinned and look like your ex-light-skinned boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay, but I don't know you, right? There was an individual who, every time I walked past this woman's office at this workplace, she would give me the stinky eye. I mean, she looked me up, down, and sideways. I'm new. Why are you treating me like this? I just walked in the door. But I tell you, the demonic warns some of these folks. Here come a child of light. Okay, they don't even know half the time why they're upset. But I tied it all back to an individual who used to work there, who she had been sleeping with. And this individual happened to be African American, happened to be an individual who liked to get around, very attractive. And for whatever reason, she was still angered over what had happened. had yet to get over some things, had moved on, started sleeping with somebody else in the office. Person wasn't African American, but was white. I mean, I thought, well, she's distracted. She got another relationship going. But it goes even deeper with some people, because when this sort of thing is happening at the workplace, the woman who's doing it, the woman who already feels possibly guilty, but she just pushes it back in her mind. She is like that dog who marks the tree. You're the new person on the block. You're showing up. And I don't like the fact that you're in my domain, my territory. And I know what my current boyfriend's weaknesses are. And you just might take them away. Like what happened to me some time ago with the African American guy who did me wrong. Okay? You see, we got folks who go that deep in their emotions, in the way they behave, and they don't recognize that you're a wounded soul and you need Jesus. You're a wounded soul and you're tying everything back to what the ex did. Yes, in some cases, ethnicity is involved. The white woman upset with the whole black race or black ethnicity because of what her man did back in the day. I can't stand them black people. Ooh. She may never tell anybody black that, but she sure got a funny way of behaving. Some folks, they may say, oh, that's racist. That's this, that's that. But at the end of the day, we're still tying it back to what happened to an individual in the last connection, friendship, partnership. And they have yet to resolve those issues. Somebody needs Jesus. Somebody needs to pray. Somebody needs to sit with a therapist. Somebody needs to redirect their emotions and put them in the right place, not on the entire group, but on the one who hurt you. Somebody's guilty as charged. They're so busy looking at the brother, the sister, the cousin who behaves like that, but they're guilty. And God is saying, I want to heal you. I want to heal you, but you've got to let me in. You keep saying, I got this, I'm fine, I'm okay. But people see when you lash out at those women. I can't stand those women. I talk about that sort of thing. We got the womanizer who does this sort of thing. We got the psychopath who does this. We've got some women who hate men. I talked about misandry already. One person messed it up for everybody else. When you have that opportunity, and it turns into an opportunity because you learn a lot about people, to argue with someone who has a lot of pent up anger from what someone or some group did, you end up being empowered in such a way where you may have made that mistake getting connected with that person that's got all that baggage, and you thought you could be the counselor to fix them. You become very discerning and you learn to stay away from people like that, because they tell you sooner or later, if you're listening closely to what they're saying about that group, and then you find out, was it really the man that hurt you? Was it really your boss who did you wrong, didn't give you the promotion? It's not really about the industry. It's about what the boss said or did. It's not about that entire group. Is really about that one who looked you up and down, acted disrespectful, and in that moment of hurt, you made the decision that you're never ever going to deal with that group again. You're never ever going to pay this, that, or the other to that association, to that business. You're never going to sign a contract with A, B, and C, because those type of people are nothing but. And then you throw in a bunch of stereotypes, you throw in a bunch of cussing and fussing, and you go and you start spewing all of your negativity, all your poison, to recruit other people to side with you. Isn't that what happens so many times? People try to pull me into some foolishness because they got hurt by the white man. Okay, the white man, the one white man, or maybe there was multiple white men. But now I'm supposed to be mad at all white men because you're upset because your sister got involved with some white man who did her wrong. And so now that's why I don't get involved with them. That's why I tell people you don't need to be messing with them. See how it goes? Rather than having that type of a message, you should be having a message that's bringing people toward freedom, toward peace, love, understanding, unity in the community, something along those lines. But no, I've heard it. You see, that's why this sort of subject matter is close to home. And not only that, when you hear it enough times, you start being that one that's out there talking about, I will never date. I will never marry. I know what my daddy said. I know what my mama said. I know what happened to TT and them getting involved with. Come on. And I am that type of person that I am a grown woman. I'm not going to sit up there and allow people to tell me that an entire race of folks is no good. They need to be just, removed out the hood. I mean, I'm not going there because, see, what I've learned is that even when I had a little bit of that type of mentality creep up, don't you know it was that man that ended up helping me. That one that I wanted to paint the broad stroke on and say, yeah, they're all like that. And then it's that one that you got a lot of anger, that particular ethnicity, I should say, that you got a lot of anger towards. Those are the ones that end up at some point in your life, if you live long enough, okay, and been enough places, they're the ones that end up having your back. Just when you thought it was going to be your group. Come on, some folks got a story like that. Just when you thought it was going to be your ethnicity, the one that you're loyal to. And then here comes those folks that you was all upset and been out of shape because way back in the day, something happened. They show up and they help you. You see? When I was going through a long while back, it wasn't the white people that was there for me. It wasn't the black people that was there for me. It was the Latinos that was there for me. So I am the last person that's going to sit up there talking about, these people oughta, shoulda, coulda, woulda, see? Because some people, they try to figure out your story. Why is it that you tend to be soft on this issue? Or why is it that you tend to get along with this group of people so well? You see, we got some white people who they mesh with black people and they treat black people like gold. I know that it's hard to wrap your head around it when you've been hurt by so many white people, but they do exist. And you can tell they've been around because of the way that they express themselves and how they identify with certain issues. And you're like, whoa, you're a breath of fresh air, you see. I've been around my share of individuals that are Filipino and Asian, and they don't have the type of issues that some folks had warned me about, because what they warned me about didn't represent the whole group of folks. You see, what they warned me about was based on their personal experience sitting down and arguing and fighting and cussing and fussing or dating or having sex with. That's your experience. Well, time and time again, I keep running into that type. Well, you need to do something different then. See, I may have had my share of issues with certain groups, but I'm not going to sit up there and say that it was everybody in a group. It may have been 2, 3, 4 people, okay? But at the end of the day, there's always somebody who breaks the mold. There's always somebody who's an exception to the rule. There's always somebody who will come around and give you a hug and tell you, I got your back. Because what draws us together is the fact that we both have had similar experiences. You see, not the fact that we look alike or we got the same skin tone. We got to go deeper than that. I mean, we got some folks who they're drawn. I mean, they just feel weak. around people who look like them, who act like them, right? But then the person shows that they're not very caring and they're not very loyal and they got a monkey on their back. And so all that other stuff goes out the window, doesn't it? When they do you wrong. And then you say, I don't care that she look like me. And I don't care that they come from the same social background and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, this person hurt me. And that's fair to feel that way. You direct it to that person, though, not the entire group. So we've got those people who got the stories of the ex. But as they are moving toward their healing, they got to make sure that they're not the type of individuals that are once again putting everybody in the group because that one person or two people, or maybe you got a pattern of attracting messed up, broken folks. It's not everybody that's hurting you. So pain has to be put in its proper place. The next thing is that you need to be the individual that's willing to make some changes in your conversation and your thoughts concerning others. If you want love, light, hope, peace, patience, and everything else to come on in, God himself to just bind up the pain, you've got to be willing to receive the truth for what it is. Today, that's what I gave you. And it may be you or it may be someone else, but they have to be willing to receive the truth. The truth is that you have this common pattern when dealing with this particular gender, that particular sexuality, or those people with that particular sexuality, or you tend to behave this way, and somebody got to call some folks out. You see, I see that you're very angry. You're very mean-spirited, and be accurate, because sometimes people, they will say that that's the way you are just because you had a moment where you were upset, and maybe that's not the way you are, you see, with all people or with a certain group. So if you're the one who you're not having these issues, but you tend to see other people having issues, okay, but on what scale are we talking? If it's on a 1 and that's because they're just upset for that day about that particular person or group, okay. But if this is a common occurrence and the level of difficulty trying to reach this person is at a 10, and they have plenty of signs that show that that is what they're dealing with, is this anger that really ties back to what the father, the mother, the boyfriend, the ex-husband, the wife, whatever. Okay, now we got a serious situation that's happening. And then you got folks that's in between. They fade in and they fade out. Today they love this particular ethnicity. Tomorrow they can't stand this particular ethnicity because they're around their same ethnicity. So they want to fit in, and so they say certain things. But then if we're close to them, we know that's not how you truly feel. So just stop. The only reason why you're acting like that is because you're just trying to get in with racist mom or racist dad or prejudiced mom or prejudiced dad to get certain treats, certain benefits. But at the end of the day, you know that if that particular ethnicity took interest in you, you would be dating that person. But because of what mom and dad said, you know you're going to stick it out with whoever you're with, or you're going to find somebody that's of your same ethnicity. You see how programming works? And God says, I got somebody for you, but I know you don't like that particular ethnicity. So, oh well, stay right there in your place all alone. Well, wait a minute, Lord, let's negotiate, because loneliness is kind of, get next to me. Negotiate what? You already said it to your friends. I heard you. You said it to your mom and dad. Oh no, I would never get involved with that type of group, and then I'd have to deal with all them other ones. You think God don't? You think God's not listening? Then you got people around you that they don't believe in interracial relationships. They don't believe in interracial too much of anything. But we got to survive in this world. So you may not believe in an intimate experience with somebody who's a different ethnicity, but one thing about it, you got to work with them. And that is an issue that some people struggle with. That's why I got my own business. Yeah, but now you're customers, right? your customers are going to be various ethnicities. What, you going to turn down money? No, they're not going to do that. So God, he hears, he sees. We think that, oh, it's just a private conversation somewhere. He hears, he sees, and he calls us out using people, places, and things, using our own voices. Did you just hear what you said the other day? Did you hear what you told your children, your grandchildren? Oh, so you want to make sure that they don't bring certain folks around you. You see. And why is that? Once again, somebody hurt somebody back in the day, made them feel like an outcast, made them feel inferior. So therefore, since they hurt me, because we do tend to remember when people have hurt us, and so therefore we come up with our little rules. I don't want you messing with. I don't want you being involved with. Honey, this is what happened. You see, you can't do business with those folks. You saw the newspapers. You read the statistics. You went to college. You know how that particular demographic of people are. See, and now look what they're doing. They're ripping you off. They're doing all this and that and the other, you see. That's how it gets started. It gets started because of people's personal experiences, and they've noticed a pattern, and they just happen to be the unfortunate ones who attract a certain type of person. Okay? Skin tone need not be concerned, but they'll make it a big deal because, once again, it is what they chose. It is what they came up with. It's this skin tone, and I can't stand this skin tone. But meanwhile, it's really the hurt. It's what that person said, or what their family did, you see. Well, I don't need the headache or the heartache, somebody says. Thank you so much for that information, but you don't get to live life to its fullest in the way that God intended because of your closed off heart. Okay, because you are not open-minded to receiving people in the way that God wants you to. We're not talking about corrupting one's morals. We're not talking about doing the types of things that would cause Satan to come on in and show out. But what we are saying is that there has to be a willingness to let go of what happened in the past, connecting the dots first and foremost, and then eventually receiving what God wants for your life, for your children's lives, for your, grandchildren's lives. Okay? So I don't want to beat a dead horse. I think you got the message loud and clear that connecting the dots as to who it was that hurt you, as to why you are behaving in the way that you're behaving concerning that group or that gender or whoever it might be, that is going to be the key toward healing a hurt soul. Okay? Not only that, you're going to have to be the one that is willing to read about that particular culture or study positive things. There's plenty of negative. We can find all sorts of negative on every ethnicity. But the key is to also look at the positive, okay? So you're going through this journey where you recognize what the problem is. You work toward the solution, allowing yourself to receive what God has for you while you're studying. Okay. And then that's when you'll start to understand more about why people behave the way they behave, or, why, it's better to focus in on the good, because for some of you all got children and grandchildren, and you don't want them to be closed-minded, ignorant, prejudiced, or racist, right? So thank you so much, as always, for taking time out to listen to this talk. May you be highly favored and blessed as a result of all of what you're trying to do to improve yourself. Please do check the description box for anything that is of interest. You've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. We do welcome giving, and if you feel so moved to give, please do. Those links are in the description box as well. Blessings to you.